Hello and welcome to Juice with Justin. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about eccentric, isometric, and concentric muscle actions. If you've ever seen any of the PPC stuff on social media, if you've ever been into the PPC lab, if you've ever done one of our programs, you'll see the words eccentric, isometric, concentric pop up here and there. Now, what are these type of muscle actions? Let me use the example of a split squat to demonstrate. So if I'm in a split squat, and that's where you sort of have your one leg in front, one leg behind. A typical concentric muscle action is what we see most of the time. Usually a rep would last 1 to 2 seconds, coming down and up. This focuses on the concentric muscle action, and the concentric muscle action is when muscles contract or shorten. So this would be in that front leg of the split squat, the quadricep muscles shortening or contracting. This differs from, let's say, an eccentric focused muscle action, where I'd start at the top of that split squat and deliberately control the way down until I get to the bottom of that split squat and then come up. I might even do that for 4, 5, 6 seconds. An eccentric muscle action, therefore, is where the muscles extend or when they lengthen. Lastly, an isometric action would be where I would come down from the top of the split squat and then hold a certain position. Ideally, they're athletic positions or positions of power or deeper angles. I would hold that for 4, 5, 6 seconds. Isometrics are holds or pauses. So why do we want to focus some of our training and programming on some of these muscle actions? Well, for starters, one would be to increase movement quality. Movement quality is a huge foundation here at PPC. You probably heard me say, if you're gonna do something, do it right. Otherwise, you're just learning to do something poorly. This applies to all the PPC pillars. If I am deliberately controlling or slowing down my movements, I am going to increase my movement quality. Secondly, we can increase strength. Compared to the normal concentric movement, where you're kind of going down one, up one, we tend to work on positions we're already strong in. For the majority of the movement, for the majority of our rep, we're gonna spend our time at the top of a movement and at shorter muscle lengths. By doing eccentrics and isometrics, we can get to deeper positions, spend more time there, get stronger, and get stronger faster because we are working at these weak positions. By doing eccentrics and isometrics, we can also increase our athleticism. If I'm in that split squat and I get down to the bottom of a split squat where I'm in an athletic position and I hold that for 3, 4, 5 seconds, well, I'm gonna get better at that position. And if I get better in positions of power, athletic positions, I'm gonna become more athletic. Lastly, and this is a big one, if we add eccentrics and isometrics into our training, we're gonna become more injury resilient. This means our chances for injuries will decrease. Tendons really respond well to the stimulus when we do eccentric and isometric training. If we can get our tendons stronger, if we can get them more resilient, our bodies are going to be able to handle forces better. So I'm talking about like landing, getting hit. We're also going to be able to increase the capacity, the amount of output that we do in a task or an activity. So essentially, we're gonna be better at handling forces more efficiently and effectively, therefore decreasing injury risk. To wrap it up, if you're not utilizing some of these strategies in your training and or your programming, you're missing out on some potential gains here. Eccentrics and isometrics will get you moving better, you'll increase your strength, you'll increase your athleticism, and you'll decrease your injury risk. And in my experience, this can happen quite rapidly. If you have any questions about what I've discussed in this episode, drop a note in the comments and I'd be happy to answer them. If this interests you, stay tuned, as in the coming weeks, PPC is coming out with a comprehensive program that optimizes everything that I've talked about today. Thanks for joining this episode of Juice with Justin.